Hello and welcome to The Extra Mile. I'm Linda Boudreau. Our guest today is Patti Howell. Patti is with Transcending Ways, and we're going to find out what that is. And I think by the end of today's show, we have the potential to be much healthier. Am I right about that, Patti?
Absolutely. We all have lots of potential every day to be happier and healthier.
And
that's our goal.
We're going to do it.
Thank
you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. It's a pleasure.
I especially wanted you to come because I heard you talk before, and I really love the things that you say and kind of the approach that you take, and so that's why I wanted you to come. But for the audience, what is Transcending Ways? What do you do?
Well, I am a certified holistic health coach, which I do holistic health counseling. And I do health counseling both on an individual basis as well as a group basis. And so basically what I do is I provide clients with the tools and the support that they need to be happy and healthy.
Well, put that in a nutshell. But a lot of it, though, has to do with choices that we make.
Absolutely.
Is that right? And we need to have information in order to make good choices, and that's where you really do help us.
Exactly. A lot of us are overwhelmed in our day-to-day lives. We all know it's good to be healthy, but we're not quite sure how to go about being healthy.
And it doesn't seem easy to be healthy.
Right. Everything is so confusing on whether it's advertising and commercials or just the packaging. Everything seems really confusing and hard to make decisions about healthy fats, not healthy fats, preservatives, high fructose corn syrup. We see things everywhere, and studying the packages is really, really confusing. So that's when I come in and I sort of simplify the whole process, and we do it in a fun way that's not deprivational, and it's a fun, different approach. So.
It is, because you came to The Extra Mile and you worked with us as a group. I think all of us came out of that with a greater understanding and appreciation for what we can do.
Right.
But what are some things that people do need to know, or that people can, some things that if people know they can use that to make better choices?
Okay, well, every day, even if you're just making small adjustments to things in life, first of all, nutrition is not just the food that's on our plates. It also involves the stress in our lives. But some of the healthier choices we can make are just using your grocery store as your pharmacy, so to speak, makes you to be healthier. So if we go about and we start picking up healthier vegetables and stuff here, like I have on this tray, that's definitely a better choice. Why is it a better choice? We eat so many foods that are prepackaged, that are loaded with preservatives, that are loaded with food colorings. Well, what exactly do food colorings do? For children, it looks really appealing, really appetizing, and that's the first thing that goes. But food coloring, for instance, is made from coal tar. It's made from petroleum. So we don't realize that a lot of that it is in our body, and it stays in our body for a long period of time.
Is it toxic?
It's very toxic, yes. And today there's such a high increase in autism and ADD, ADHD, and food colorings and preservatives are definitely attributable to ADD, ADHD, attention, just general overall focus, even for adults. So these play a very important role in our nutrition, and so we need to start reducing things like preservatives and food colorings and just start implementing healthier choices into our day.
Okay, we all know that we should eat all those beautiful vegetables, but I bet you most of us, even if we buy them, and we do, but we may just let them rot in our refrigerator.
Exactly.
And somebody told me once, if it doesn't rot, don't eat it.
Exactly.
It's really, really true. We've got some stuff at the office that never rots, and I think we should never eat it. But so how, I guess part of it is programming ourselves or working with ourselves to not only buy this, but then do something with it. Huh?
Right. First of all, when you're shopping at the grocery store, you were exactly on point there. When you shop, you should shop on the perimeter of the grocery store. That's all the living food. So you want to try to implement more living food into your diet, and use the weekend times to get organized. Usually if you have a plan and you're better organized, then you will do something with your meal.
That's true.
So that's also a key point where I come in. I help clients get focused, get organized. We come up with meal plans so that when you go to the grocery store, you know what you're going to get. You basically you have a schedule, you have recipes, you know what you're going to do for the week. It doesn't have to be for a month-long program. Just kind of shop in smaller, like a weekly supply, get the ingredients fresh. Another good thing to have on hand are beans. Beans are a very healthy choice. That's something you can always keep on hand. You can throw it in the crock pot. Very easy to do. Another thing that we need to start sort of maybe reducing would be so many times we see all the white carbs and the white rice and just lots of processed foods in general. So if we are sort of just preparing things with better grains.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know there are grains such as quinoa. Quinoa is a very healthy choice. That's sort of making a comeback these days. Millet is a grain that not many people have heard of. They're loaded with all sorts of vitamins and nutrients. Can balance our hormones, just make us sort of healthier all the way around.
So you can like cook those the same way you cook rice and other grains, right?
Exactly.
Just put them in the
slow cooker, rice pot, exactly.
Okay. And they're all available in our local grocery stores, aren't they?
Many are available in the local grocery stores. Some you can find at your health food store. I provide, we sort of do a show and tell, so to speak, with clients where go in, prepare the meals, allow them to taste them, and then you go home with a sense of, okay, I know what to do now. I know that I like it, and this is easier to do. And so it works out really, really well.
I think that's important. I think that the reason that maybe a life coach would be could be a good alternative is when you just think about it, you don't have any kind of idea of what it is you're actually going to be doing, and so you never really start.
Right.
And you got to start somewhere if you're going to make these changes. How did you get into this business, Patti?
I have for a long time. Of course, a mother with 3 children, you're always trying to feed your children healthier options. And I know the struggles that mothers face, parents in general face. You have all these soccer games that you have to get to in a hurry, busy schedules, everyone works, but usually both people in the household work. So it's fast meals that you have to try to get together quickly that are also have nutrition in them.
Right.
So I've always sort of dabbled in nutrition, and it was, but I've now become a health coach, and I'm pursuing a passion. So it's just such a delight to be able to help people, and just show them a healthier way of living. It's definitely fun.
So there's a lot of research out there, and we have a lot of information. And one of the big topics I think that are the big issues that we need to talk about is that kind of acid-alkaline balance. What is that all about?
Your pH balance.
Yeah.
The diet that we follow today, the standard American diet, which is most prevalent, it's highly acidic. And that's the white rice, lots of carbs. And what we need to do is be a little bit more on the alkaline side. Foods that are alkaline, or all of these green foods here, lots of fresh vegetables. Usually, if you were just to be in balance, you would sort of be a 60-40, 60 being on the more alkaline side, 40% being on the acidic side. You need both in your diet to be healthy. We just have way too many acidic things in our diet. Meat, way too many animal proteins. And so what we need to do, if we were really wanting to achieve health, if we had disease prevalent in our body, it would be better to go to more of an 80 alkaline, 20 acidic level. So the main thing is being aware of our diet, being aware of our levels. There are these little pH strips that you can buy locally at some of the health food stores. It's just a saliva test that you can test, and just to see if you're more on the acidic level or more on the alkaline level. And it's all about achieving balance. And balance in our meals every day is just really what we're ultimately aiming for. Balance in our meals, balance in our lives, balance in, with everything with stress. That's what we're aiming for.
So what role does stress play in all this?
Very oxidative stress. It can definitely, you can eat all the healthy vegetables in the world, but if you have stress in your life, it's still going to deter your health. It will still prevent you from being the healthiest person that you can, because it definitely promotes disease within our body. So we definitely want to reduce stress in all areas.
So how do we do that?
Well, we start looking at our time, and what do we do in our daily lives that we can start shifting our schedule and start taking back time for ourselves. You know, as mothers, we're very busy with our children. We sometimes put ourselves with our husbands and our children and our jobs and all the extracurricular activities, and fathers as well. We put our own health to the back burner. And so we need to be there for our children and for ourselves. This is one life that we have, and you don't want to wake up when you're halfway through it and, you know, realize that, oh, wow, you have these really big health issues now, and I'm going to have to fight twice as hard to get back.
Right.
So you schedule time into your day for yourself. You start doing the things that you want to do. You start doing exercise, implementing exercise in your day, reducing stress. Yoga, that's a wonderful way of just reducing some stress in your day. Deep breathing, freeing up time in your calendar, in your busy schedule, sort of giving some responsibility back to your children, per se. Let them do some of their own chores, give yourself a little bit more free time. That's a wonderful way of doing that.
So part of it then is really looking at our lifestyle.
Exactly.
And assessing where we are.
Exactly.
And then seeing how we can adjust things.
Right.
Do you think that people have a hard time taking time back for themselves?
Absolutely. We're really pretty guilty most of the time.
Yeah.
We feel that we need to pour ourselves 100% into our jobs and then to our children. And then usually at the end of the day, we're so exhausted, we have adrenal fatigue. So many people have thyroid issues these days.
So what's adrenal fatigue, and what is that?
Well, it's just over time when you're not eating the proper diet, stress plays, it's just really depriving your body of the nutrients. It just really starts to drain our systems, and unless we give the nutrients and the energy back to our bodies, we just continually feel tired.
Okay, so people that might have chronic fatigue, and I'm not talking about chronic fatigue syndrome so much, but people who are always tired, right. Instead of just, trying to just push their way through it, and maybe to step back and say, okay, this is telling me something. I need to make some changes here.
Right.
So maybe listening to our bodies.
Absolutely. Listening to your body is key, and that's one of the things we try to do. We assess, what certain foods do to our body. There are foods that lift our mood, and then there are foods that are a little more grounding to us. So if we find ourselves really short-tempered a lot, there are certain minerals and stuff that could be deficient in our bodies, and if we're not eating the proper food, are short-tempered, moody, and when of course we all want to be happy and be around people who are happy. So
what's a happy food?
Oh, gosh, salads are definitely an uplifting food.
Really?
They
For
definitely
real? They lift your mood?
They lift your mood. They lift your spirit.
I didn't know that.
Yes, chocolate, definitely.
I was looking for the
chocolate is definitely a mood lifter, and I'm happy to say that chocolate is not bad. For years we thought, oh no, we couldn't have any, but it's got wonderful antioxidants in it. There are more antioxidants in organic chocolate, which is cacao, than blueberries, resveratrol, which is in wine. So it's definitely something we could have. I wouldn't go out and eat a candy bar every day.
But a little bit,
a little
maybe.
bit, and so that's the dark chocolate, the unsweetened, and the higher number that you can get as far as for the rated in cacao, you want to get at least 70%. I think there's one of the bars that are up there is at least 100% cacao. So that's in its most chocolate in its most natural state.
So where can you find these products? Are they like at all of our supermarkets, health food stores? Are they easy to find? Are they hard to find?
They're really easy to find. It's getting easier and easier because so many people, now it's sort of trendy to be healthy.
Right.
You're seeing nice little organic stores
and you know what?
open
Not
up
even
everywhere.
In Colorado. You can do it here
You
in
can
Louisiana.
do it here in Louisiana. That's exactly right. So no, you can find some, definitely at the health food stores, but a lot of grocery stores are now carrying organic chocolate.
Consumer demand.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and you were saying before we started today's show, really, or maybe even when we started, but organic food is really preferable.
Right.
Why?
It's definitely the best. Because you're limiting, organic food is not sprayed with pesticides. Now, if you can get local organic, that's even better. Why is that better? Because it's homegrown here in the area. There's less time for shipping. So that it's usually been picked the same day or the day prior. We can get out to a lot of our farmers markets over the weekends. There are several here in town that you can visit, and many of the local farmers have their produce available that you can purchase during the week as well, so you don't always have to wait till Saturday. And of course, some of the local grocery stores are now carrying organic selections as well.
And locally grown organic
yes,
selections
absolutely,
too. So that
absolutely.
makes it even better.
You're right.
I had read somewhere, I don't know if it's true, but eating food that's locally grown also helps with allergies.
It does.
Is
it
that
does.
true?
It absolutely does.
And why is that?
Well, more of the enzymes are fresher. Your immune system, when we eat these wonderful healthy vegetables, it strengthens our immune system.
Okay. You keep talking about enzymes. What role do enzymes play in all of this?
Well, the main thing is that in our diet of fake food, as I'm going to call it,
call it what it is.
Everything's in a box, and most of that is not living, fresh food.
Was it ever living fresh food? It was at one time. Huh?
Well,
they just took everything out of it.
If you read the ingredients, if you can't pronounce it, you really shouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Enzymes are like the workers in our body. And we were born with a specific amount of enzymes. Now, we can get enzymes from food, definitely all of these vegetables. And the enzymes, like I said, are the workers in your body. In the digestive process, our body is using the enzymes to digest the food. And so once we kind of start depleting our enzymes that are within our body, unless we eat foods that contain enzymes, we're not replenishing the supply. So we keep depleting the supply, that's when disease sets in.
Okay, so a lot of this then would be what we call prevention.
Absolutely.
Staying healthy instead of trying to get healthy. Do you find that nutrition is becoming more integrated into the overall health care approach, or is it still something that's an add-on?
I believe it's starting to make its way through the use of health coaches like myself. We sort of work as the middle person. We assist doctors, with patients who physicians don't necessarily have the time to do nutrition counseling.
Or the expertise. I mean, let's face it, this is pretty complicated stuff.
Right.
You can read a book, but that doesn't mean you got it.
Right. So my role is I work as the middle person. And let's say, for instance, someone is on a blood thinner. Well, that's part of I need to look at their medical history and observe, what sort of medications they're on. If you're on a blood thinner when you eat green vegetables, well, green vegetables purify your blood. They clean it out. So you need to work with your physician to maybe sort of adjust, have your blood levels checked on a regular basis, and we kind of check in and see how the patient and how the client is doing. Okay,
so then if I'm understanding this right, if somebody's going to a life coach and has some medical issues, they need to let their doctor know that they're coming to you as well.
It's an excellent idea. Then we can kind of work together when they go in for their testing, their usual blood checkups and stuff as well. Their physician will know what they're doing as well. I know a lot of people who go to green juicing, some people who do wheatgrass that are on statins. They'll go to the doctor and the doctor says, I don't know what you're doing, keep doing it because your numbers are great.
Really?
So that's definitely an improvement.
Okay, so what is green juicing?
Well, you'll see here on the table the bottle of green juice, and basically everything in this tray, except for the carrots, went into the bottle of green juice. People who have trouble preparing meals or salads, that just maybe don't take the time to prepare green vegetables, this is a really healthy, easy way to get vegetables into your diet, into your day, and it's just, you can drink as much as you want. In the orange bottle here, that's basically just carrots and apple juice. So it's both of them are very sweet. There's apple in both of them. The carrots are also very sweet as well. So it's not difficult. It's really, really easy, and it's definitely enjoyable.
Now, you made both of those, right?
I did.
So how long does it take to make a bottle of juice?
We juice every morning, and when you're juicing large quantities, it might take 30 minutes, but once you get it in the juicer, just it's really time to organize, get set up. Once you start putting it in the juicer, it's really just a matter of a few minutes.
Okay, so it's really not anything that's impossible
No,
or
it's
that hard
not.
to do at all.
Right. It's very easy, and you can get juicers. They have wonderful juicers even at Walmart. Some of our specialty kitchen stores here in Lafayette have excellent name brands, but you can get them as well I know there's a Jack LaLanne at Walmart. That's a great one. The cost is about $100. So it's not an exorbitant amount of money if you want to start juicing.
Okay, and that's one way for busy people. To get all
That's
of this
right.
done. But do you think a lot of it really is about planning, organizing, and getting everything kind of on track?
Is
that the key?
I think a lot of people are overwhelmed with the process of, I don't know where to begin.
I am. I got that.
But once you have a plan, and it makes it easier when you have a coach to work with, I'd sort of take the guesswork out of it. And we come up with a plan, and once you have it and you've tried a few of the items and work through it, it's really, really simple.
So in working with a life coach, or just in terms of trying to get healthy, is it important? I'm assuming it is. It's not. I mean, one size doesn't fit all, does it? I mean,
no.
We're a little bit different, and so is it partly trying to figure out what works for me as opposed to what works for you?
Absolutely. I work on a bio-individuality basis, which means
a what?
Bio-individuality.
Okay.
Which means we are all different. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different ethnic backgrounds. Whether you have different medical conditions. So it's based individually on what the client likes, their food choices, their preferences, their busy schedules. You're absolutely right. We're all individual, and that's the key.
So if somebody goes to you, what can they expect?
They can expect that the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sit down and look at their overall health.
Which includes what?
Well, we're going to look at the medications that you're on, okay, the food that you presently eat. What sort of food have you eaten over a long period of time? Would you grow up with eating? And we try to make gentle adjustments. If people want to get in right away and just make these ultimate changes really fast, we can work that way. But generally, if you want the changes to be lasting, they need to be in small increments. And, life-changing is the key here. We don't want to work on fad diets. Fad diets don't work. So we want to just change your eating habits in a gradual sense, start taking out the things that are not good choices and start putting in healthier, better choices.
Okay, so when we're doing the assessment, is it just about food? Do you look at our stresses? Do you look at our lifestyle? Do you look at exercise? Do you look at all
everything?
That?
We look at everything because everything is important. Like I said, it's not just the food on our plates that feed us. It's everything in our lives. We get energy from our jobs. Mm-hmm. If we have a very fulfilling career and a very fulfilling life, our energy level is high. We feel those benefits. If we're around very positive people all day, we get energy from that. We get health from that. And that's definitely, that's relieving our stress as well.
So how do you help people? Let's say that, we can fix our diet, but what if they're in an environment that's kind of toxic? How can you help people with that?
Well, we'll slowly start. First of all, you have to recognize what those toxins are in your life. And once we start recognizing what they are, gently sort of, making some adjustments to our lifestyle, definitely putting, you closer to the top of the list rather than everyone else.
Okay, so again, helping people learn to make time for themselves, to honor themselves as much as they're honoring everybody else.
Perfect.
Is that kind of
That's exactly
a fair way to put it?
That's exactly right.
I remember when you talked to the Extra Mile, one of the things that you talked about just in terms, again, of our food intake and of our environment was sugar. You talked a lot about sugar and that kind of thing. What role does that play in how we feel? Because, how we feel has to do with how we interact, too.
Right. Sugar in a processed state is very unhealthy for us. There are plenty of healthy choices to choose from in sugar as far as for, maple syrup or agave or better choices that don't raise your glycemic index. But when we reach for processed sugar, it puts us in a roller coaster. Our moods, throughout the day, if you're kind of on a sugar fix most of the time.
You
It's
know, you
a
get up and
constant
you
up and down.
You get up and you eat a sweet roll, and then you grab a candy bar, and then you do this and you do that all day long.
Right, and it deprives your body of minerals as well. It suppresses your immune system. So it definitely does damage, and there are better choices. It's not to say you can't ever have sugar, but there are definitely healthier choices we can make in our day-to-day decisions.
Okay, and I was kind of asking that because, you know, sometimes toxic environments where people are kind of all cranky might also be about what they're having for breakfast.
Absolutely. So even if we don't have health issues, we could start suggesting healthier options for, you know, the people at the office.
Patti, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Time, but it's good to have you here, and we'll get you back again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We've been talking to Patti Howell with Transcending Ways. You've been watching The Extra Mile.